Will XRP truly dominate, or is it just a hype around the XRP army? I'm going to share with you at a deep level, after we watch a very interesting video, why I invest in XRP and why XRP and Bitcoin are my number one and number two holdings. Mike Novogratz was on a channel and he explained how powerful the XRP army is. So we're going to watch the video first, and then I'm going to break down my personal experience with XRP and why it's my number one holding. Now, I want to remind you guys, out of many people watching this, only a few of you are subscribed. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We bring videos every single day. This channel is not about get rich quick. It's not about hype. It's about understanding how to get wealthy for sure by staying calm and staying stoic. So check this out. So Mike Novogratz was on this channel here, and this lady here is a Bitcoin maxi, right? But it's a pretty good conversation. And I want to hear your comments down below on what you think around the XRP army. Now, I want to make it very clear is I'm not a tribal person, guys. I am not married to these asset classes. I use them as digital assets and tools to build wealth for my family. I'm not tribal in anything. I'm going to share with you on the back end why I love XRP. I love Bitcoin. I like Solana. I like XLM. Okay. God, family, number one, number two. Digital assets way down here. So I'll let you listen to the video. It's going to go for a couple minutes here. We want to listen to the full thing, and then I'll give you my context on how I became part of the XRP army and why I invest in XRP. It's not just hype. I believe in the utility.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, going back to, you said like shared community pain, right? We've all been through these cycles. A lot of people have learned some painful lessons in crypto, and they wish they would have just held Bitcoin, for example. And since you're someone who's a believer in other digital assets, can you kind of share just your experience and why you do have that conviction and why you haven't? I mean, Michael Saylor has been asked multiple times, right? And he says he sees nothing compelling about the other digital assets to invest in. He's total Bitcoin maxi, right? A lot of people believe in that. And then there are the hardcore crypto people. So like, why?
But let me ask you a question. Why do you think XRP still exists?
Because they have a great marketing team and a lot of money.
What do you think a lot of money from?
From selling their coin and their ICO.
So I'd love to hear your comments about that. You know, look at it's so interesting that we got to go deeper, like a little bit deeper, right? So I would love to hear your comments about what she just said.
Initial offering, right? I mean,
listen, the XRP army care as much about their token as the Bitcoin army cares about theirs. It's just that simple.
It has gotten very tribal.
All crypto is tribal. Listen, I got a Bitcoin tattoo.
Do you still have your Terra Luna tattoo?
I got a Bitcoin tattoo right there. I got it at 20,000.
Do you still have your Terra Luna?
I got a Terra Luna tattoo there. Like these are tribal communities. And I used to be more of like, well, Bitcoin's digital gold and everything else needs a utility, right? Just like there's gold on the periodic table, the other 113 elements only have value because there's a utility, right? We use copper for stuff, right? That's why it's valuable. And I realized that was misguided thinking. What created Bitcoin and created this crypto movement was this breakdown in trust in the world. People don't trust religions. They don't trust governments. It started in 2008, right? I mean, Satoshi wrote the paper post 2008. And
this is super important to pay attention to, because I don't do my investments based on hype. I do them based on facts, figures, numbers, logic. The thing that I love that he said is we are all thinking about this. And the reason why you're still watching this right now is because you're distrusting the system. You're tired of being manipulated by a monetary system that buries you in debt, right? We're all tired of that. So I think it's important to really understand what is happening right now. You know, it's a movement. It's not just digital assets. This is a movement to freedom. It helped my family create financial freedom. My kids are going to be financially free, right? This is about sovereignty. These aren't just digital assets. And so it'd be really cool to see all the ecosystems come together, but that's not how things work, right? You have people that love the Raiders and people that love San Francisco 49ers, right? We all have things that we enjoy. And I think it's important for you to ask yourself why you're invested in something.
If you just graph trust, since we started this journey, it's one directional, straight down. And so it's, I get why Michael loves Bitcoin, because that's his community. And I love Bitcoin too. But it's beyond a financial asset. It's a religion. It's a tribal movement. And it's the same thing that you're seeing. And I mean, look, Cardano has a $8 billion market cap, and you can shit on Cardano and you get death threats. There's a community that cares about Cardano enough that it's kept up a valuation that defied most people's logic, right? XRP, Brad Garlinghouse has done an amazing job of creating. And I asked him a few times, I think, where does this XRP army come from? And he said, I'm not even sure. Like, they care about this thing. I mean, when they went through that lawsuit, this guy, Doug Deaton, what was it, not Doug? Who was the guy, Deaton? The lawyer, then he ran for
John Deaton. Yeah.
John
Yeah, he
Deaton.
was on the show.
That guy was literally tweeting 9 times a day, fighting this case in court. He didn't even know the guys at Ripple originally. This was part of his community, and he thought this was an injustice done to his community. And so I think one of the things that crypto has added to investing in general is the idea that community is valuable, right? Look at Tesla or Palantir. They're stocks. We call them meme stocks from a memic value. It's community. No one's, find me one person in the world that says, I'm an Oracle guy. Right? I'm an Oracle. I'm part of the Oracle army. Doesn't exist. No one's got an Oracle tattoo, even though Oracle's one of the most amazing companies out there. Larry Ellison's the second richest man in the world.
Right.
Equities weren't communities. Right? Crypto brought this idea of.
This is important what he's saying right now. I really want you to digest what he's saying. It has to do, this isn't just a physical financial transition. This is a spiritual and physical transition. Listen to what I'm saying. We're moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. Moving from inputting into a computer to connectivity. Okay. We're moving from an archaic banking system, industrial, to quantum, to connectivity, to cooperation, to community. So like he's saying, the old financial assets were just assets. These are communities of people who have distrust in the old system and are moving into the new system. Do you see why Trump put XRP, Solana, CRO, Bitcoin, Ethereum into his blue chip? Do you see why he created World Liberty Financial, and they have their own token now that is going to dominate? Their actual stablecoin is the fastest growing stablecoin right now, guys. Think about this for just a moment. This is really powerful things to think about.
Community, and it's coming from this breakdown of trust. And therefore, they can be just as passionate about CryptoPunks, the CryptoPunk community. Listen, do I think they'll all have the same lasting power as Bitcoin? No. But I've been so freaking wrong on how long some of them have lasted, right? XRP is still the number 3 token. Their people care about it. And when I say care about it, they are choosing to take their hard-earned dollars that they make as a salesperson or as a garbage man or as a chef or as a computer engineer, and they're storing that value in a community.
So important. That's where I wanted to stop the video, because I want to bring you back on, because that's my point, guys. We're storing our value somewhere that we trust. I don't trust the inflationary US dollar. Think about that for just a moment. That's why I worked so hard to put my family in first position. That's why I've been so disciplined in regards to my cash flow and where I put my cash flow. This is for my kids and my grandkids and legacy. I don't want to be in a system that I distrust, that I put it into a bank. Now, I use banks. I use them for their functionality of paying my team members. I'm cash poor in my bank account. But what I trust is a deflationary asset that has a fixed supply and a community that is extremely passionate. The XRP community and the Bitcoin community. I'm not going to crap on anybody. I think it's all great for somebody to have something to believe in. Like, I believe in God and Jesus Christ with all of my heart. My CFO believes in Buddha. Okay, do your thing, man. We love each other. We work together. We build empires together. Because I love God and Jesus Christ doesn't mean you have to. Because I love XRP doesn't mean you have to. What we need to understand is we need to get to a point in our lives now where we're getting to origin. It's no longer a motto. model where it's television, tell you a vision, channel information, program information to you. We have to ask ourselves, why do you believe what you believe? I don't want my kids to live the life that I live. I want them to live the life that they desire. I want them to ask questions. I want them to go deeper. And it's not just about questioning authority. It's about questioning what the origin of what you're saying is coming from and getting to the way, the truth, and the life. So that's what's the power of what he's saying. XRP has a massive community, and we are choosing to store our hard-earned money and wealth. And what happened is I chose, even when the case dropped, I was in 2020. The case got initiated in December 20th, 2020. I went all in. I still chose, even though the SEC sued Ripple, I still chose to put my hard-earned family's money into this asset class. And I accumulated at 17 cents, and my dollar cost average now is 29 cents. I buy it every single day, and my wealth went up 800%. My Bitcoin went up 200%. My XLM went up 400%. The point is, we now have something outside of a centralized system that we can believe in, that we have sovereignty, that we can make a choice. And that's my point of my channel. And that's my point of everything I do, is for you to ask yourself, why are you doing what you do? And that's why the old system, the old regime hates this, because you now have a choice. I will never tell you what you should do. Authenticity, I will tell you exactly what I do. That's the new era. That's the new era. Think about that for just a moment. Everything we talk about, we own or we do. Everything. Everything I talk about, I'm invested in, I own, or we do. This is very important time in your life right now. So if you're thinking about XRP, or you're thinking about Bitcoin, or you're thinking about a digital asset, I need you to go a little bit deeper into origin and ask yourself, why are you doing what you do? And when you make a decision, you stick with it. And if you make a sound decision based on discernment and going deep into the origin, you're going to do okay. I think Warren Buffett said this. If everybody left college and they had a punch card with 10 holes on it, and they took 10 investments and they managed, that's all they got the rest of their life, they'd be the wealthiest people in the world, because they would study it, they would go deep into the origin, and they would understand exactly what they're invested in. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. So here's exactly what I did from 2020 to 2025 to free my family financially, to become a millionaire investor in crypto, and to become a millionaire outside of crypto. Okay. This is really, really important. This is exactly how I did it. Okay. I saw these asset classes as amazing opportunity to break free from this financial matrix. As I went through the bull run, okay, after they shut my business down and took away my ability to take care of my family, I made it my obsession to create cash flow. So if my businesses get shut down, I can still take care of my family off of assets. Okay, that's the number one thing. I believe in cash flow. I think cash is trash. Okay, Red Dalio, cash is trash. Robert Kiyosaki, cash is trash. Okay, I totally believe in what they're saying, and I understand why Robert Kiyosaki and Ray Dalio have been shouting this from the mountaintops. Well, we're living what they're saying now. Okay, so when I get paid in someone else's debt, which your debt is my income, my debt is your income. When I get paid, I get cash flow, your debt. I take it and I put myself in first position. I transition my cash flow outside of debts and non-negotiables, my bills and the things we need to live, and a little bit of fun money to do fun things. And I transmute it into deflationary assets. I use XRP and Bitcoin, number one. Number two, XRP is my number one holding by a long shot. I have many other cryptos. Number three is Solana. Number four is XLM. Number five is HBAR. I might have mixed those two up. And then VeChain. Those are my top six. Okay. And I have many other cryptos as well. So Algorand, CRO, things like that. Then what I do from there is, as those assets appreciate, I don't just sit there and hold and watch it go up and down. I'm a profit taker. I take profit. I take profit off the top. I hold 50% long-term forever for legacy, and I hold Bitcoin forever. We'll put that in the number 4 category. I use cash value life insurance. So first step is, when I profit from these assets, which we're in the bull run right now, I'm going to stuff more money into my cash value life insurance, richest man in Babylon, because I turned $1 into 2, and then I can leverage the 2 and make 3. Let me give you an example. So when I go into the bear market in 2026, I'm now going to have a bank over here that is earning income. It's indexed to the market. I can borrow against it at 5%, and I can create a brother or sister, richest man in Babylon. So as you're watching your portfolio go up and down, I'm taking some of my profits, I'm borrowing, and I'm buying more of the portfolio that's going down of yours. So now I turned $1 into 2, leverage it, turned it into 3. That's the richest man in Babylon. And then I have number 4, which I talked about, which is leverage. Now I have a Bitcoin bank and an insurance bank. You can borrow against your assets tax-free, but you only borrow if you're going to create cash flow. So eventually, my family will be operating fully off of assets. Okay. That's the whole goal, to break free from the matrix. That's how you break free from the matrix. It's not Lambos, Ferraris, big houses. It's first, cash flow. Second, assets that will appreciate. Third, leverage to buy more cash flow, protect and compound. Then from there, and only then, when your family is taken care of and your ecosystem is taken care of, do you buy liabilities. For example, I'm buying a liability that I'm very excited about. Actually, today, as I'm recording this, we've already acquired it. It's paid for by assets. Discipline, consistency, done for a long enough period of time to access a new paradigm. I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise. Get your shit together.